All right, welcome back, Community News family, to the Community News Comedy Calendar. This show where every week we go through what happened, what's happening, and what's going to be coming up in South Florida comedy. I am your host of the show, Sebastian Alvarez, here with my co-host, Art Roach. How you doing, Art?
I'm pretty good, Sebastian. I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually spend my days as a gargoyle on a church. That's why my skin's made of granite.
Got you. Well, I'm going to have to reach out to the priest that runs that church to make sure that he's not let out anymore. Anyway, moving on to this week, or last week, I'm sorry, in comedy, we had an action-packed weekend of great shows, not only at the Miami Improv, but all around South Florida. Starting off back on Wednesday, though, we had Florida's Funniest Comedian at the Miami Improv, Florida's Funniest Comedian competition, at the Miami Improv, and it was a blast. I was able to host, and we had 4 comedians that were able to get passed on through to the semifinals that are going to be on October 24th in Dania Beach. These are the 4 right here. We got Rolando Gomez, Amber Joy Lane, Ellie Rodriguez, and Raul Hernandez. 4 absolutely hilarious Miami-based comics that are going to represent Miami super well up there in that Eastern Conference semifinal there in Dania Beach on the 24th. Definitely go out there and support them in that. Also at the Miami Improv this past weekend was Eric Griffin. He had a fantastic run of shows. He is a super funny guy. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing him here with the Miami Improv and Cafecito Comedy. Super nice guy, super funny guy. We'll definitely be tagging this on all of our socials and having it out there whenever that interview goes live for you guys to check out. Eric Griffin, if he's ever back in town, you definitely want to get your tickets, and we'll keep you posted right here on the comedy calendar, of course. We also had 2 guys that opened for him that were really good friends of ours, Miami locals we want to shout out. We got Dom P and Nick Ridiculous. There's Dom right there, the man, the myth. And there's Nick. Absolutely killed it this weekend. Super funny guys. Shout out to them for coming through. And then Sunday, I was actually not at the Miami Improv. I was off that day. Art, you were there. What was happening on Sunday?
This past Sunday, we had Oscar Collazos and Santi Espinosa. They did what they're calling the Colombian Experience. It was an amazing show. Got to hang out with Oscar beforehand. For some reason, he was checking the vents before the show started. I couldn't understand what was happening there. But it was an amazing show, and they'll definitely be back soon, and they'll do it again. Got you.
Well, luckily, the vents were empty, though, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. That's good. Good to know. Now, we're going to move on to this week, though, in South Florida comedy. That was last week. Starting off, though, on Monday, we got a super fun show for you that happens every single Monday, run by Miami Comedy. That's going to be Red Bar, hosted by Lonnie Cox. That's not an open mic, correct?
No, it's not. You have to hit Lonnie up if you want to get booked, and he's got to see you performing somewhere else. So
got you. So if you want to go out and watch a really good booked, produced show of comedy, definitely Red Bar at 8 p.m. on Monday. That is always a fun spot. We got a few other spots on Monday. We always got Thank You Miami, as you know, 14 North Dania up in Dania Beach, connected to the Dania Improv. And late night, if you want to find a cool little intimate, little grungy show on a Monday, you got 7 C's on Red Road, correct? That's the road that it's right off of. Yeah, it's right there off of Red Road and Coral Way. Yep. You just go down, it's 7 C's, you pop in there, starts at around 12:30. It's always a super fun little intimate room happening on a Monday. Moving on to Tuesday, though, we have got Kelly Bros Writers Room in Fort Lauderdale. This is ran by our good friend Big Pedro. Super big shout out to this room. I've gone there a few times. I've done it a few times. It is a lot of fun. If you're an up and coming comic, or you're somebody who's just getting started and you want to come and kind of experience what it's like, Big Pedro, there he is. He's the Willy Wonka of comedy. Yeah, he will make your dreams come true. And that is the golden ticket right there to having your jokes actually work, is going to that writer's room on Tuesdays and making sure that you're all tied up. You get to perform for comics. There's also sometimes regular audience members you can perform for them too. Super fun time. Super fun time. Moving on to Wednesday, though, at the Miami Improv. This is going to be a Spanish show. So if you're looking forward to something a little more ethnic, we got a Spanish show happening. Art, you had a little bit of information on that too?
Absolutely. I love this guy's sense of humor. His show is called Esto No Es Un Show, or This Is Not a Show. And he's got really witty things, even in the promo material that he's put out. So I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people have been asking me about Spanish shows. When are we going to do other, language shows? And at the Improv, they do them every month, and this is one to look forward to. So if you get a chance, come check it out Wednesday.
Awesome. Heck yeah. That is Wednesday at the Miami Improv. Moving on to Thursday, though, we have an action-packed Thursday this week in South Florida. Starting off, we're going to have a show that I'm producing with Cafecito Comedy. I will also be hosting the show. It is going to be at the Arlo Hotel in Wynwood. We're going to put it up, the flyer right here. It's going to be headlined by my good friend, Jay Moreno. He is one of the funniest comics down here in South Florida. He's starting to blow up on social media, so give him a follow, Jay Moreno on Instagram. We also have featuring Julie Baez and Eric Rosen Rosenblum, two super funny comedians. Eric actually is one of the people who won Florida's Funniest Comedian in Dania Beach, so he's also going to be represented at that, I believe, October 24th show in Dania. So he's also a super funny comic that we're really excited to work with through Cafecito Comedy. This is a great show. It's a free show as well, so if you want to come out, just come and enjoy it. We have a bunch of space. It's there on the 3rd floor at Higher Grounds Arlo in Wynwood. Come out Thursday night. It's going to be a great time. Moving on though, Art, you are on a show on Thursday as well. What's the information for that looking like?
So I will be in Wynwood as well on Thursday. So if you're not going to be able to make it to Arlo, definitely come by the Wynwood Marketplace. My good friend Michael Soto is actually going to be performing with me. We have a host, Andy Pita, and I've never performed in this room. I'm excited to check it out. If you know anything about me, you know that when I go to a new room for the first time, I always bring some special stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Come out. If you can't be at the Arlo, then come to Marketplace.
Heck yeah, absolutely. And lastly, on Thursday, if you're not going to be in the Wynwood or South Florida, like Miami-ish area, you can go up north to Dania Beach, where we are having a Have-Nots in Dania. Again, that's produced by Dom P, the guy that you saw performing this weekend with Eric Griffin, and that's going to be a fantastic lineup here. We got Oscar Collazo, who headlined again on Sunday, Daniela Delfino, who's a really good host, Hennessy Williams, and Will Lopez. He actually runs a really good room that's on Mondays called Bayshore out in Miami Beach, so you definitely want to check all that out and follow those guys and follow the show. It's up in Dania, so if you're up north, that might be good for you on a Thursday night. Moving on though to this weekend at both the Dania Beach and Miami Improv locations. First of all, Friday and Saturday at Dania Beach, we got Natasha Allegro. She is a super funny comic coming from out of town. She's going to be representing, I believe New York is where she's based out of. And she is has a sitcom that is called The Honeymoon that is coming out. I believe it's on streaming platforms. Check that out for sure. Moving on to Sunday in Dania Beach, we got Lucas Zelnick. This guy headlined the New York Comedy Festival back in 2023. He's a super funny comedian, and he's not going to be doing one night weekends very soon. So you're definitely going to want to catch him while his tickets are still cheap for a Sunday night over there in Dania Beach. And lastly, in Miami for this weekend, we have a Jewel coming through to the Improv. If you want tickets, you're going to have to get them now because they're going to sell out by the end of the week. Do not wait to get tickets for Michael Blaustein. This guy is a super funny comedian. His clips go viral almost every time he posts them. He's a little bit of crowd work guy. He's got a lot of energy. His podcast right now, Stiff Socks with Trevor Wallace, is one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Definitely give that a follow as well so you can kind of get a feel of what his comedy is like. But if you get the opportunity, definitely get some tickets and come out to Michael Blaustein. You were going to just say something, Art?
Yeah, actually, this morning before we came into film, I checked online. All Saturday shows are already sold out.
There you go.
So it's the guy's selling out fast, and everyone is looking to get some tickets.
100%. And that's going to be a lot of the times here at the Miami Improv when we got these big names coming through. Tickets sell out super quickly. So we're always going to make it a point to let you guys know when those shows are. So if you do have any interest, you can jump on those ahead of time and make sure you get yourself a spot for that great show happening this weekend at the Miami Improv. Again, Michael Blaustein. Really excited for that, guys. That is going to be so much fun. But that is this week in South Florida comedy. This has been the Comedy Calendar. Thank you guys so much for tuning in every single week. Come back here to the community newspaper page or to the SoFlo calendar page so that you can stay up to date with everything happening in South Florida comedy. Until next week, guys, keep laughing.